That's why I hate zero waste. Hey, I'm Kristen, and think of me as your average consumer. I'm not perfect. I still buy things in plastic because there are so many good vegan options on the market that come in plastic, and I just can't say no. Sorry. I'm just very tempted. I'm trying, okay? I'm trying. I think a lot of times when we're thinking about sustainability, we think about zero waste. Now, what the heck is zero waste? So zero waste was actually an industrial term for businesses and companies, so they could take responsibility for their packaging and try to be zero waste. Whereas now we use the term zero waste for us as consumers and trying to reduce our plastic packaging and just packaging in general. And these are the 7 reasons why I hate the terminology and just the idea of zero waste. I tried being zero waste and it literally made me go crazy because I could not live up to the level of perfection that the phrase zero waste holds. Like, you have this idea that you are not gonna buy anything in plastic. You're never gonna buy anything in packaging. You're gonna go to the bulk food section. You're gonna buy loose veggies and all of that stuff, and it's just not realistic for the majority of people, and that's why I just hate it. Like, I wouldn't drink water because I had no other option but to get it in a bottle when I was at an event somewhere, or like the only option at like a family gathering was something in plastic, and then I felt awful because I'm contributing to the plastic pollution problem. And you know what? We can't be perfect. We're not perfect. Sometimes I wasn't prepared, and I'm sure sometimes you're not prepared either, and that is okay. That's why I just don't like the terminology zero waste, and I'd rather use the terminology like low waste or low impact. So, yeah. Vegan food is always in packaging. All of the good vegan junk food, all of the alternative meat products like Beyond Meat and Gardein, like those are all in packaging, and I just can't give it up all the time. I'm not buying it and eating it every day, obviously. It's like one of those splurge moments. I don't know, I just have a problem with giving those things up, and especially with like tofu and tempeh. I sometimes don't eat enough protein unless I eat those things, and they always come in packaging. I cannot find it package free, and it's really hard to make. So maybe one day I'm gonna try to make it, but like everyone who has talked about making tofu and tempeh say it's incredibly hard. And I think with tempeh you need like a dehydrator or something, and I don't have that. So, and I think zero waste is really extreme that it makes people afraid to even try it. It's kind of like the militant vegans, like people don't want to try being vegan because everyone's gonna yell at you if you make a mistake and you're trying, which I don't agree with. But I think that's why it's hard for people to try to go zero waste, because it does have that level of perfection. When you're trying to be zero waste, you can't incorporate any packaging, any waste into your life, and you have like 4 years of trash in a little mason jar, and that's just not realistic for most people. It is not all or nothing. And all you see for examples of zero waste are the perfect Pinterest ideas where everyone has the exact same mason jar or the exact same jar with perfect little pantry shelves, and they have little labels on all their jars, and everything is perfect. And zero waste is not perfect. Most of the time when you're seeing those perfect, ideal, unrealistic ideas of zero waste, they're not being sustainable. Buying all these new things and buying labels to put on jars, like that is not zero waste. That is not sustainable. And maybe they're getting it in sustainable ways, but most of the time they're not. I want to be the example that you don't have to be perfect. I'm your average Joe consumer. I'm gonna show you it doesn't take this perfect person to reach a level of saving the planet and just helping reduce your waste and your consumption of things, which automatically reduces waste. Not everyone has access to bulk sections either. So everyone talks about getting food in your bulk section, bringing your own bag or jar to the grocery store. and people don't have bulk sections. And then I feel like that makes people feel guilty and bad because they don't have a grocery store with a bulk section, or they don't have a refill store available to them. And that's okay. We need to show that you need to do the best you can with the resources that are available and given to you. But I think that idea of zero waste is sometimes only available to certain groups of people. Everyone talks about reducing all of your packaging and zero waste, and honestly, the first step is reducing the majority of your plastic consumption and of your plastic packaging. So if you can switch, like in the grocery store, switching from a pasta sauce that comes in a plastic jar, switch to a glass jar. And you can use that as your Tupperware, and you can put your food leftovers in there the next night. Find ways that you can make simple changes rather than reduce all of the waste and all of the trash and all of the recycling all together. Find little swaps. I think that's a huge win just to reduce your plastic consumption. A lot of the times we forget to talk about meat and dairy consumption in terms of zero waste. So you see a lot of zero wasters that buy like milk in glass jars or meat, trying to get that package free. But I think ultimately reducing your meat consumption, reducing your dairy consumption is going to have a much greater impact than just buying them package free. Because if you look at the facts, you can see that dairy and meat take a lot of water, a lot of energy, a lot of food and resources to put on people's plates. That was one of the main reasons why I went vegan. It's been 2 years now. Holla! So I think ultimately, if you're trying to be zero waste and you're trying to reduce your carbon footprint, eat less meat, eat less dairy, and if you want to, go vegan. Pretty much all animal products have plastic packaging if you can't get them package free, which is pretty rare if you can get them package free. So that's something else. So I hope you guys liked this video. I really do like the idea of zero waste, but I think ultimately, it seems really extreme, and it's really hard for people to just want to even try it because they feel like they're gonna fail, and I felt like I was gonna fail. So that's why I like saying low waste or low impact or something along those lines where you don't have to meet that level of perfection. If you guys liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. Comment down below if you can relate to any of these 7 reasons, and hopefully you guys will subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!